Good evening, everyone. My name is Chanel, and in that opportunity, I'm going to be talking about Unit 3. The topic of Unit 3 is the Celtic Kingdom. England has always played the most powerful part in the history of the British Islands. However, the other three countries, Wales, Ireland, and Scotland, have a different history. So now, Wales, by the 8th century, most of the Celts had been driving into the Wales Peninsula. Wales is a mountainous country that could only live in the crowd valleys. The rest of the land was rocky and too poor for anything except keeping animals. For this reason, the population remained small. It only grew to over half a million in the 18th century. Life was really hard, and so was the behavior of the people. Slavery was common, and it had been all through Celtic Britain. The society was based on family groupings. And the Ireland's is the another kingdom. Ireland was never invaded by either the Romans or the Saxophone. It was a land of ministries and had a flourishing Celtic culture. As in Wales, people were known by the family grouping that they belonged to. Outside their tribe, they had no protection and no name in their own. They had only the name of their tribe. The king in his tribal society were chosen by election. The idea was that the strongest man should lead. In fact, the system led to continuous changes. Five kingdoms grew up in Ireland: Ulster in the north, Munster in the southwest, Leinster also in the southwest, Connaught in the west, with Tara as the seat of the High Kings of Ireland. Now I'm going to talk about Scotland, which is a really interesting kingdom. As a result of its geography, Scotland has two different societies. In the centre of Scotland, mountains stretched to the far north and across to the west, beyond which lie many islands. To the west and to the south, the lowland hills are gentle, and much of the countryside is like England, very rich, welcoming, and easy to farm. North of the Highland line, as the division between highland and lowland is called, people stay tied to their own family groups. South and east of this line, society was more easily influenced by the changes taking place in England. Scotland was populated by four separate groups of people. The main group was the Picts, lived mostly in the north and northwest. They spoke Celtic as well as another, probably older language completely unconnected with any known language today. And they seem to have been the earliest inhabitants of the land. The Picts were different from the Celts because they inherited their rights, their names, and the property from the mothers and from their fathers. So this is the end of uh, what I understood from my reading. I hope you like it, and I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for listening to me. Thanks a lot.